let's now focus on the economy, and the rupee weakened to an all-time low, trading nearly 77.40 to the dollar. This as foreign funds rush to safety as lockdowns in China and the Ukraine war and fear of higher interest rates sent a nervous jolt through the markets.
The war between the Ukraine and Russia, it seems that is going to drag on for some or rather very long time, apparently it seems from here. This war has caused huge amount of inflation, and the commodity prices are at elevated levels, so is agri-commodity and energy prices. Now these three things, they are worse for any economy, especially Indian economy will go through trying times if the energy prices remain high for a longer period.
All right, let's go across to Priyanshi now for more. And Priyanshi, just break it down for us. How does this affect, what all will this affect with the rupee slumping to this all-time low?
So, Gargi, it has multiple impacts on the common person. Essentially, when rupee depreciates, everything we import gets more expensive. The oil import bill is set to go up with the rupee depreciating as imports get more expensive. As for $1 worth of products, we will now have to pay more in rupees. Let's understand this with an example. Assuming an example, if earlier Brent crude oil stood at $100 per barrel and rupees stood around 75 rupees per dollar, we could import a barrel of crude oil for 7,500 rupees. But now when the rupee has weakened to 77 rupees, the same one barrel of oil which we could earlier buy at around 7,500 rupees will now cost us 7,700 rupees. The difference sure seems lower because we're just considering one barrel, but when we import millions of barrels of oil, the impact is significant. And as we know, fuel prices have a cascading impact on inflation. If imports of fuel get expensive, domestic fuel gets expensive. As we've already seen ever since the start of the Ukraine war, Brent crude prices have started going up, and domestic fuel prices also started going up in line with those prices because we import a major chunk of the fuel that we use in our country. So higher import price of fuel will translate into higher domestic fuel prices as well. And as we know, fuel prices translate into higher prices for all essential commodities, as fuel is required to transport all commodities across the country between states. So this will have an impact on not just fuel prices in India, but also prices across countries. They will also, the prices for foreign studies and foreign travel will get more expensive, right, because people will have to pay more in rupees for the dollar amount of their travel and their studies. But there's an upside too. Indian exports to get more competitive with this, because the same amount of exports will now mean more money in terms of rupees.